Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Albert Sambi Lokonga is no longer a part of Arsenal boss Arteta's plans, according to Corriere dello Sport. As relied by Milan News, Arsenal midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga is not a part of Mikel Arteta's plans for this season. The young Belgian joined the Gunners from Anderlecht for £18 million last year. He started off the season in impressive fashion, but he was handed just 3 league starts following the turn of the year. Just about a week ago, reports revealed that Lokonga has emerged as a target for Italian champions AC Milan, who are on the lookout to replace Frank Kessié following his move to Barcelona. The Rossoneri were heavily linked with Portugal midfielder Renato Sanches, but he decided to sign for PSG not too long ago. That has made them turn their attention to Lokonga, and the news from Italy suggests that a deal is possible. The report from Core Sport claims that the Belgian has no space at Arsenal, while the information relied on Milan News revealed that the midfielder is not a part of Arteta's plans and is looking for accommodation. Lokonga, still only 22, he has 4 years left on his Arsenal contract. Do we think Arsenal will get rid of Lokonga this summer? No. The Belgian is by no means at the top of Arteta's pecking order. The likes of Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey and probably even Fabio Vieira are all ahead of him, while Mohamed El Nini was preferred over him at times last season as well. However, Lokonga is still a fine talent. He is excellent on the ball, really calm in possession, and his range of passing is really impressive. With the Europa League back at the Emirates this season, he will get plenty of opportunities as well. It will be really surprised if Arsenal decide to get rid of the 22-year-old in this window. Player's salary holding up his transfer away from Arsenal. Nicolas Pepe has been linked with a move to Nice in this transfer window after he lost relevance at Arsenal. The winger joined the Gunners in 2019 from Lille, and we expected him to become their next top star. However, he has underperformed and now struggles to get dressed to play. Mikel Arteta's team has evolved since he became the club's manager, and the Spaniard now has better players in Pepe's position. The winger is free to leave, but not many clubs want to add him to their squad. Nice wants him on loan, but a report on RMC says the move is being held up by his salary. He makes around €1 million gross per month at Arsenal, and that is too much for the League One side to pay. Both clubs will continue talks and hopefully find an agreement soon. Pepe has simply been a bad buy, and we need to offload him in this transfer window. The winger has not been good enough, and we will not miss him, but he needs a move away to get his career back on track. Hopefully, both clubs can reach a compromise, or a new suitor will emerge for his signature. Hector Bellerin decision looms as interest grows in Arsenal defender. It has been clear for some time that Hector Bellerin will not stay at Arsenal this season, but with just 2 weeks remaining in the transfer window, his future has still not been resolved. Bellerin spent last season on loan at Real Betis and visibly fell in love with the city of Seville and the team of his grandfather. After winning the Copa del Rey with Betis, he was keen to return to La Liga with Los Verdiblancos, but their ability to do a deal is in question. It's likely that Arsenal would have to terminate his contract, which ends next summer, in order to get a deal done. Yet, Betis are currently struggling to register their new signings and contract renewals, meaning spending extra on Bellerin's salary is a cost they might not be able to accommodate this season. Barcelona have emerged as an option in recent days, a low-cost option to reinforce their right-back position. The Catalan club are becoming more intrigued by the option of a return for their former academy player. Sky Sport Italia are reporting that Udinese are interested in Bellerin. As per Football Italia, Brandon Sopi is set to leave the club for Atalanta, and Bellerin could replace his threat at right wing back. It seems clear that Bellerin wanted to return to Betis, but with time running out in the transfer window, he will not want to wait too much longer in case these options dry up. Unfortunately for Arsenal, it appears they will not be able to make much money on Bellerin, as each of these 3 teams are unlikely to want to pay much, if anything, by way of a transfer fee. Positive update emerges on injury to top Arsenal talent. Arsenal youngster Charlie Patino is currently on loan with Blackpool, and he picked up an injury rolling his ankle during a game away to QPR on Tuesday. Charles Watts reports that the early signs for the injury are looking good. He was at Arsenal yesterday and has returned to Blackpool, now set for a short spell on the sidelines, but nothing long term if the initial assessments are correct. Daily Canon understands that Patino stayed down in London after the QPR game before heading to London Colney during the day on Wednesday. The midfielder then travelled to Meadow Park to watch the Arsenal under-21s play Swansea City before driving back to Blackpool. That trip to London Colney obviously gave Arsenal an opportunity to do an assessment of their own on Patino. So it's encouraging that the player doesn't currently believe the problem is anything too long term. Blackpool boss Michael Appleton had initially sparked fears of a more serious layoff with his post-match comments. There is still a chance that further assessments could reveal further damage, so we can't draw any conclusions just yet, but the signs are good for now. We should know more in the coming days. Arsenal, 18 years old, joins first team training after a new contract. Arsenal 18-year-old Brooke Norton-Cuffy could be seen involved in group training sessions with the first team this week ahead of their next game against Bournemouth. The young right-back recently signed a new deal with the Gunners, putting pen to paper to extend a spell that was previously set to end in 2023. Arsenal rate the defender highly, and it's always good experience to get involved with the senior sessions. But Norton-Cuffy is currently still likely to go out on loan this season. Speaking after his contract signing, Norton-Cuffy confirmed reports that a loan is likely, ideally to the Championship. Yeah, it's looking likely to be another loan move, Norton-Cuffy said. Hopefully, I will go to a Championship side and we'll see what the Championship has to offer. Norton-Cuffy had a very strong first loan spell in senior football last season, joining Lincoln City in League One. He made 17 appearances in a few months with the side and earned plenty of praise. A step up to the Championship seems like the logical next step, particularly given there isn't much of an opening in the first team for the coming campaign. Takahiro Tomiyasu is returning from injury to find he has a new competition in the form of Ben White at right back, with Cedric Soares still at the club and Ainsley Maitland-Niles for cover. Norton-Cuffy will get his opportunities eventually if he keeps developing as he has done so far. Pundit slams Arteta for his treatment of Aubameyang. Gabi Agbonlahor has slammed Mikel Arteta for how he treated Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang before the striker left Arsenal. Oba had been his captain and the club's highest earner, and they had a good relationship. However, they fell out at the end of last year when the striker was permitted to visit his mom, but he returned later than instructed. He banished the striker from the first team, stripped him of the captain's armband, and asked him to train alone. Oba eventually secured a transfer to Barcelona at the end of January, but former Villa man Agbonlahor says no player deserves to be made to train alone. He tells Football Insider, "I understand you don't want the player. I understand you want to get rid of him, but don't make him train on his own. It happened to me, and it happened to people I played with. It's the worst thing that can happen as a footballer. Your mental health is at a record low. You are alone, you feel like a bad egg, and your teammates are scared to speak to you. You are training on your own or with the youth team, and you feel demoralized. That's what clubs try to do, to force you to leave, make you so uncomfortable coming to work that you want to leave." Arteta's treatment of Oba was not perfect, but the Spaniard had to make it clear that he wanted only dedicated players in his team, and they must keep to the rules. Both parties have moved on now, but other players will learn and not want to break the rules. Fabrizio Romano names the midfielder Arsenal want more than anyone else. Arsenal have enjoyed a fruitful transfer window this summer, bringing in 5 new players. The Gunners have finally signed a new striker, and Gabriel Jesus has certainly hit the ground running. Arsenal have also bought Alexander Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira, Marquinhos, and Matt Turner. You could argue that William Saliba is like a new signing too, finally making his debut after 3 years on the books. However, Arsenal may not be done just yet in the transfer window. The Gunners remain linked with a new senior winger as well as another midfielder. Over the past few months, Yuri Tielemans has apparently been on the radar of Arsenal. This has turned into a drawn-out transfer saga, with the Gunners yet to make a bid for the Leicester ace. Arsenal have also been linked with the likes of Lucas Paqueta and Sandro Tonali over this summer. However, Fabrizio Romano has reiterated that Tielemans remains top of the Gunners' wish list. The transfer insider told Kigolazo, the midfielder it has always been Tielemans at the top of the list for Arsenal, but still no official bid to Leicester. I'm told Arsenal are still focused on outgoings. That roles they have been following are a midfielder and a winger, but it depends. Arsenal have a very good strategy. For example, if you asked me the same question in January, I'd say they wanted a striker, but they didn't waste money on a player they didn't trust because they couldn't get Vlahovic. They waited and got Gabriel Jesus in the summer. Tielemans is an incredible midfielder who would certainly improve the Gunners or any other Premier League team, but bizarrely, Arsenal or indeed any other suitor haven't made a bid yet to get a deal over the line. There is still a few weeks left in the transfer window, so maybe we'll start seeing concrete approaches closer to the deadline. Journalist says Arsenal interest in magnificent £42 million winger is growing. Arsenal have enjoyed a fruitful summer transfer window, bringing in 5 new players. However, the Gunner may not be done just yet, with reports suggesting they may look to fill in 2 more positions. Arsenal are apparently looking to potentially bring in another midfielder and a senior winger. In terms of the latter, the Gunners reportedly tried to sign Rafinha, but he ended up joining Barcelona. Now Arsenal are being heavily linked with Villarreal's Yermi Pino. CBS journalist Ben Jacob, speaking on Give Me Sport, has now provided an update on Arsenal's interest in Pino. Yeah, I mean, Pino and this sort of Arsenal interest is growing, I think that is fair to say, he told GMS, and it's definitely one to watch between now and when the window shuts, and one of the reasons for that is because there is a need at the Villarreal and to sell. Fabrizio Romano recently wrote on Count Offside via GMS that La Liga club wants around £42 million for Pino. Arsenal have seemingly picked out a superb target in Pino, one of the most talented youngsters in Spanish football. He enjoyed a breakout campaign for the Spanish side last year, scoring 6 goals and adding 4 assists in 21 starts. Pino also featured 7 times as Unai Emery's side reached the Champions League semi-finals. He is young, very talented, and has a fair bit of experience at the top level too. Earlier this year, Squawka published a scouting report on Pino, writing that Yermi's finishing is remarkable. He has a natural ability to get himself into goal-scoring position through his movement and well-timed runs, and once he's there, his composure belies his age. They also said Pino was among the most prolific dribblers within Villarreal's squad, and brings great value to Emery's squad with that attribute, and his blistering pace is crucial in the transition, and that is why the former Arsenal coach has opted for Pino in games where the counter-attack has been crucial. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.